Hi, how are you guys all doing tonight?
Great, and you?
It's the last one tonight. Go home after this. Alright. Can you guys imagine 12% of preschoolers being obese? It's a big number for little 4-year-olds. The textbook Infancy Through Middle Childhood, written by Laura E. Levine and Joyce Munch, stated that in 2013, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said that 1 in 8 preschoolers were obese. Now, many of you said in the survey that you believe childhood obesity is a problem. On a scale of 1 to 10, the average rating was a 9.1. Now, I have a 12-year-old sister, and she has struggled with her weight since she was very young. I remember her being little and having to go out and stand up for her because people would pick on her for her age. And now looking at her, her friends are all overweight as well. Yeah, most of them are. After noticing this, I've read 12 different articles on how to help prevent childhood obesity, as well as the best ways to go about helping a child lose weight without hurting their self-esteem. I've also taken 2 different child development classes, both of which talk about the issues with overweight children and how to help children deal with this issue. Childhood obesity is a major problem in the United States. Now, this is a problem that cannot be fixed, but it can be controlled with a proper diet and exercise. First, I will show you why childhood obesity is a growing problem in the United States. Childhood obesity is a problem in the United States with a number of overweight children increasing. In the article Obesity, posted by Procon in 2018, they state that people are usually identified as obese, which is defined as having an excessive amount of body fat based on their body mass index, or BMI, which is this. The green is where you want to be, and obviously as you go farther out, that would be either overweight or underweight. This is just a children's one. You can go on choosemyplate.gov, and it has a BMI chart for adults as well. To find your BMI, you find your weight in kilograms and divide that by your height in meters squared, if that makes sense. The Telegraph View stated in their article, it is time parents faced up to their role in our childhood obesity crisis, that children today play less sports and do not walk much. Moreover, obese children will almost certainly have obese parents, and that it is in the early stages of their lives that intervention is needed. Bridget Vittrup and Danielle McClure discovered in their article, Barriers to Childhood Obesity Prevention, Parental Knowledge and Attitudes, that most parents of overweight or obese children showed little to no concern about their children's weight. They either felt that there wasn't an issue, that their child wasn't overweight, or that they just didn't matter. According to Gregory Green in the article Physical Activity and Childhood Obesity, Strategies and Solutions for Schools and Parents, written in 2012, one of the reasons American children and adolescents gained weight over the generations is that children expend significantly less energy on the daily basis than their parents and grandparents did at this age. And I'm not sure if you guys remember, but I vividly remember being very young, and we didn't watch TV a whole lot. There wasn't, iPhones and tablets and this and that. I remember an Xbox, but I didn't even get that until we were, 12. So we had to do things outside. Like, we had to jump rope and walk around, ride our bikes, hang out with our friends. It wasn't sitting around. Now, I look at my son and I look at my sister and I look at all of the children in my school, and all I see is electronics. These children would rather watch a child play with the toys on TV than play with the toys themselves. Like, they have the toys and they don't want to play with them. They'd also rather sit inside and play on their phones when it's too hot or too cold than to go outside and play in the water or go outside and play in the snow. In the article by Gregory, it states that we eat more fast food and vending machine food than we have in the past. As you can see on this graph, getting bigger, created by the Tribune Content Agency Graphics in 2010, found on opposing viewpoints in context, the percent of U.S. children who are obese has clearly gone up from, as you can see, around 5% up to anywhere between 10 and 19%. from the 70s. And the largest increase was between the ages of 6 and 11, going from the lowest on the left to the highest on the right. Now, even though this problem cannot be solved permanently, the percent of overweight and obese children can be lowered with a proper diet and exercise. There are many ways to help control childhood obesity, but the two ways I'm going to talk about today would be the proper diet and exercise. Children need to eat healthy, and many of you, as you've answered in my survey, are on the right track because 60% of you said that you only eat fast food a few times a month. As you can see in this photo, which was taken from the book Infancy Through Middle Childhood, there are the proportions of different types of food that make up a healthy meal. And here is another photo that explains a little more in detail of the different foods that young children need in their diet to stay healthy, which is also from the Infancy Through Middle Childhood textbook. This textbook says that the National Association for Sport and Physical Education recommends that children of all ages should have at least 60 minutes of exercise a day. In school, they only get about 30, so that means that 30, you need to exercise with them 30 minutes too. Now, many of you also answered on my survey that you exercise at least once a week, and this is a really good habit to be in when you have kids. Now, I'm not saying you need to take your kids to the gym with you or anything like that. I just mean go out, take them for a walk, take them to play sports, take them to play baseball, basketball, anything, because they can do it. They want to do it. They want to hang out with you. They want to spend time with you, and it's a good way to get them up and moving. And this helps get them in a good habit as well for when they get older, so you can pass that on to them for their kids. Now, going back to that quote from the Telegraph about how children play less sports today and don't walk as much, all you have to do to help with this problem is be healthy yourself and make sure your children have a healthy habits early on in life. Now, let's reiterate. I hope you all can see now that childhood obesity is a problem. This problem may not be able to be solved, but it can be controlled with a proper diet and exercise. And I know none of you are under the age of 18, but one day you might have children if you don't already. You need to get into the habit of exercising and eating healthy now so that when it comes time, it will be easier for you to get your children into the healthy habits early and reduce their risk of them being overweight or obese. So let's try to lower the rate of obesity at least back down to this 5% range. Thank you.